What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo Sports Center, and today I'm going to be discussing Lindy Ruff and how much of the Sabres blame we should put on him. First things first, the Sabres currently sit dead last in the Eastern Conference with 45 points at the time of this recording. They play the Devils today at 1 o'clock, so that could change, but I highly doubt it. That's good for fourth worst in the league. Coming into this year, we really weren't too excited because the only addition the Sabres made that was of note was a head coach. So, they've said, and I mean, these media people have said for years, if the Sabres just had an experienced coach, maybe they could finally get this group over the hump. Because, we've had the same core for the last couple of years. It hasn't worked. We've brought in pieces, but nothing really significant, right? Like this year, we bring in a guy like Sam Lafferty, Abe Kubel, Beck Malenstein. Those are guys you could find any single year. Again, I'll continue to credit Malenstein's physicality, but the other two have just been terrible. Kubel has already been assigned to the Amherst. It's just been a nightmare year for the Sabres, and hopefully they can end the season off on a high note. I know Jordan Greenway's coming back soon, but again, it's just been a disgraceful season, and I'm starting to see Lindy Ruff get a lot of the blame, which was something that wasn't happening in the beginning of the year. So let's take a little trip back to the offseason when we first signed Lindy Ruff. There was definitely a mixed emotion. A lot of people saying this was strictly a nostalgia move just because Kevin Adams wasn't able to really do anything in the offseason. Might as well bring in a guy like Lindy Ruff to get the fans a little bit excitement before the season. Then we get the rumor that Lindy Ruff was not able to pick his assistant coaches. And if that is true, that is a giant red flag. Why would you bring in an experienced coach? Again, this guy is one of the most winningest coaches of all time in the NHL, and you don't let him pick his assistant coaches. That makes no sense. Again, a guy like Kevin Adams, who is a very inexperienced GM, a guy that apparently, according to rumors, has very little respect around the league. Why is this guy dictating what Lindy Ruff brings in? Second thing is Lindy Ruff, his playing style, right? The Sabres had to go overseas to start the season, so training camp was very short. Lindy Ruff had less time to instill his system upon this core that was so used to the kind of free-for-all Don Granato system that they honestly kind of thrived under for a little bit until it played its course. As we've seen in the beginning of the season, the players have not reacted and adjusted very well at all. The slight additions that Kevin Adams has brought in have not worked at all, and this core continues to struggle, and all these contracts are looking really bad that Kevin Adams dished out. Now we get to the point where the Elias Pettersson trade probably isn't happening, and it looks like another year of just a waste of time for this team. So does Lindy Ruff stick around for next year? The simple answer is yes. You can't fire a coach after 1 year, especially a guy of Lindy Ruff's status. After one failed year, even though the team is definitely disappointing. Again, we're in a worse spot we were this year than last year, which should not be happening. Again, it's going on 14 years of a playoff rebuild. But I don't understand what Kevin Adams' plan was. Again, I'm hoping that the plan was to give him a year, see how he does, and then go all out in the offseason. Because this is a GM, Kevin Adams, who said the time is now. And that is going to be used for years to come if the Sabres don't make the playoffs soon. Because the time is now. You can't just make that statement, do absolutely nothing in the offseason, put up the same results, and be content with that. It can't happen. Again, you have an owner who's been kind of invisible throughout the last couple years. You could even say last 10 years. He just, he's been part of it behind the scenes, but refuses to talk to the media. So we really don't know how involved he is. Again, a lot of speculation, but I won't go there. And then you have a GM who's just an in-house hire that apparently isn't very respected and traded a second-round pick for Beck Malenstein. That's all I need to know. Something's got to change, and it's not going to be Lindy Ruff. I don't mind Lindy Ruff. Again, people always bring up the point, right, that he has a lot of wins. And it's tough because the game of hockey has changed so much in the NHL. We have such a different game than back in the day. Like, a lot of people bring up Lindy Ruff's prime with the Sabres, and you look at a game, watch a full-length game from like 2006, 2007, even before that when Lindy Ruff was the coach, and then watch a full game today. Completely different games, completely different rule book. I mean, the way the refs officiate is completely different. It's tough to, kind of put the same two games in the same category and call both of them a win, but it is what it is. They both are wins, and Lindy Ruff is a hockey genius. You can't question that. It's just why give him this core, right? It didn't seem like the right move at first. I was very excited to see the return, but if you're not going to change the core, I mean, let's be honest, the Sabres core is pretty weak compared to other NHL teams. Now, I'm not talking talent-wise, I'm talking physicality. They don't use their bodies, they don't like to block shots. So I guess that was the thing. We'll bring in Lindy Ruff, a guy who's very big on, tough grittiness, around the net play. But if you're going to put that system on a group of guys that don't thrive in it, that's not the way to do it. And to not add to this group at all and to think Sam Lafferty was going to be good enough to completely flip this team is laughable. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is Lindy Ruff the problem? We know Kevin Adams is slightly the problem. We know the core group of players is the problem. But how much should we blame Lindy Ruff on the kind of stunt in the development of this group? Is he to blame at all? I mean, is there really much he can do not picking his assistant coaches? Given this kind of mismatch of a group for this season, is it his fault? Is it not? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching this video and have a good one. Peace out.